everybody, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online, the SLOTRO 2 edition. This is Gnomadan here. Say hello to everyone, Gnomadan. Good boy. When last we left off, we were here in the Weather Hills, and we were talking to the hunting group here. We had come and gotten some of their weapons back for them, so that they can continue to make their way back to Bree. And we were told that later on they are also involved with the high-level, purple-level orcs up there in that ruin. So we'll know where we need to be coming back in quite a few levels. In the meantime, we were trying to get back over to Candaith at his camp. And for both a quest from Ceradan, which was why we were here in the first place. We were riding Ceradan's horse. And we had jumped off Ceradan's horse right here. I'm assuming it made its way back to Ceradan. Ranger horses are usually pretty good that way. And we are going to try to see if we can continue on over to where Candaith's camp is in the shadow of Weathertop. The ruins of which you can see just popping up over the hill there. We are officially entering into the Lone Lands now. See if we can get past all of these yellow fangs. We did enough hunting and messing around with them while we were... Bunch of raspberries. We did enough of hunting and messing around with them while we were working with the hunter groups there. Trying to get their items back for them. Oh, look at... Good grief, what is with that group? I don't remember that whole bunch of them ever being all around like that before. Let's see if we're able to run past them right quick. Probably could have if we hadn't broken our horse's leg on the jump over. Past all these yellow fangs. Can we outrun all of that group? That is a bunch of wolves. A bunch of wolves. Yep, we were trying to get through Condrim here. And White Hand archers, more yellow fangs. Let's come up to the top of the peak. We need to make it past them and through the ford there. Looks like they cannot. We don't have to worry too much. It looks like they cannot outrun Huck. Huck here is a good horse to have out here in the Lone Lands in the wilderness. Long as we're not running into a archer, looks like we can do pretty good. Rich barrow iron. Looks like we're secure as long as we don't run into an archer. I don't think we could outrun an archer's arrows, but otherwise it looks like we can outrun all the also-rans and everything there. We have made it past, and we should be coming up on Candaith's camp. There we are. Fantastic. Candaith's encampment. As I said, in the absolute shadow of Weathertop. Especially in the morning when the sun rises over there. Let's go ahead, hop off, and let's talk to Candaith right quick. Let's get some of these things out of the way. Now, we have got Do You Know Candaith, which one of the hunters gave us.
How can I be of service?
And in fact, it's been long enough. Do you know Candaith? Let's read the history of it. Candaith, the name doesn't seem familiar to me. I know this. We have hunted in the shadow of Weathertop and seen signs of a camp. It is possible the man you seek camps there. The camp can be found at the western base of Weathertop. Hunters in the Midgewater Pass may know the ranger Candaith. It is certainly worth a try to see if they know the ranger who watches the Lone Lands. The hunters do not know the way, Candaith, but they've seen the makings of a camp at the western foot of Weathertop. So,
How can I be of service?
Hunters out of Bree know of my whereabouts. I shall need to be cautious and redouble my efforts to hide my supplies in the future. Now, what brings you to the foot of Weathertop? Surely you do not realize there was a lone ranger in the shadow of Amon Sul who needed your aid. No, indeed I didn't, but had I known there was a ranger here, I would have known he needed my aid, yes. We've been through that before. Book 2 forward, aiding the order. Let's get back to the disposition here. I believe it was Saradan that told us this. You have done much good for the people of Breland, but the shadow out of Angmar spreads far and wide. I have learned from Gwaihir the Windlord that another of my order has found corruption in the lowlands east of Bree. It may even be related to the dangers you encountered in the Great Barrow. Unfortunately, Radagast is given to wandering and will be difficult to find. I would ask that you enlist the assistance of the rangers in finding his location. There is one here in Breland, Saradan, who will be able to help you. Head out of Bree. Oh, so Gandalf gave us this. Head out of Bree through the west gate and turn north along the Greenway. Seek Saradan at his cabin at the east side of the Greenway across from Thornley's worksite. Radagast the Brown has journeyed into the lowlands in concert with the rangers seeking the source of a great evil. Saradan the ranger may know where you need to meet up. Candaith is at his camp. Saradan does not know exactly where Radagast was bound when he left the ranger's cabin. He suspects that Candaith, the ranger who watches the lowlands, may have information on the wizard's whereabouts.
What do you need?
Radagast the Brown. I have not seen him and know not of his passing, but there is a cold and a shadow that has come to these lands of late. Now, let's go there, let's go there, and I was seeing down here, we are just about to level out on this quest. Now, don't we have, there it goes. We are going to take our Dured stone away, that gives us fate and vitality and all the other stuff, and put in the stone of the tortoise, which gives us none of those things, and locks down our XP.
What do you need? How can I be of service?
That would certainly have leveled us up to level 23 right there. Chapter 1, Book 2, Rise of the Orcs. Saradan's word comes late to the lowlands. If Radagast the Brown passed in these lands, then perhaps hope is not lost in this place. I have returned only recently from a journey in lands far to the east, lands held firmly in the grips of evil. When I returned from that journey, I learned to my dismay that evil does not stir in the east alone. Goblins now roam to the south, while their larger and more ferocious cousins among the orcs spread through the weather hills like a festering plague. I must find the main body of the orcs. If you will assist me in driving back the enemy in these hills, I will begin the search for Radagast the Brown. What say you? So defeat melee white hand, defeat ranged white hand. We can do that. Sure, we'll take those on. He has also got the circling eyes of the enemies. We certainly remember that, don't we? Let's pluck out the eyes of the birds. These lands have become much darker in recent days. Since my time wandering in the eastern stretches of the lowlands, a dark shadow has flopped down from the sky. Now they patrol the western lands as well as the east in search of something for their unseen masters. I speak of the Crabine, vile creatures with a gift of intelligence greater than they should possess. We must do what we can to thwart their efforts, kill these vile birds and collect their eyes. It is the only way to ensure that they cannot return the information that they have gathered to their masters. You will find them all throughout the western hills.
How can I be of service?
The Crabine find what their masters desire. There's no telling the size of the invasion this land will face. We must do our part to see that this do not come to pass.
Greetings.
Search for the orcs and thin their ranks. I will begin my effort to track the Radagast the Brown. What are your travel destinations?
What can I do for you?
You can travel to the Forsaken Inn. You must have Quest Book 2, Chapter 6 for that one. and a skeleton, which we have to have book 3 forward for that. Alright. Well, we've got a quest to go to the Forsaken Inn. We know how to get there from here ourselves. And we've got Huck the Magic Horse, who can outrun so many things. So let us go on over. We need to talk to Onlof now for the hunting group. And take a message for them. We'll surely go through the little dell. Yep, here's the campfire we've talked about before. That's where Aragorn and the hobbits sat around the campfire, and where they actually had the battle with the Black Riders, you'll remember. The 4 Black Riders. They were not on top of Weathertop. They were down here in this little dell. But you have to say that Peter Jackson putting it on top of Weathertop definitely added to the drama and suspense of it. To say, you know, it was an adaptation. Movies are adaptations of the books. They're not sometimes, you know, not doing exactly what the book says. Makes for a better movie. Now, get used to seeing those ruins over there. We'll be spending some time in them and in the ruins behind them as well. As we will be doing, this is indeed going to be our Lone Lands Explorer. We bypassed this area for the most part, except for the part that takes place on the Epic line with Gnarlo. So we will be doing all of the side quests and pickup quests and landscape quests and everything else here with Gnomadan. Just like we won't be seeing very much of the North Downs whatsoever on Gnomadan, except for that part which we have to do because of the Epic quest. So all that part with Colbert the Brave and the section where you're helping the hunters over there around Fornos, that grave robber camp. Let's call them what they really are. They call themselves treasure finders, but they're grave robbers. Yeah, we won't be dealing with them, I can't think, on Gnomadan here. Now, that goes back to those ruins. This is what I was looking for. Let's get over here and let's grab this stable master if we haven't already grabbed him.
What can I do for you?
We have grabbed Pip already. So we've been out here, apparently, at least to the Forsaken Inn. I think it is probably time to bind ourselves here rather than at the Prancing Pony, since this is going to be where we're going to be spending the next part of our next section of our time here. I've got a guy on a porch to get a quest from. There's going to be a bunch of quests inside the inn, I'm sure. Rings everywhere. But we need to talk to Onlof, the Tavern Keep. This may seem a strange request, but is one that I feel necessary. There's an inn on the border of the Midgewater Marsh and the Lone Lands, the Forsaken Inn. It is operated by a man named Onlof. He was holding rooms for us as we meant to stay there for a few days before returning to Bree. With all that has happened, it is clear that we will not be making the journey south over the hills to visit the inn. Could you make your way there and let the innkeeper know we will not be coming? The hunters from Bree, camped in the Midgewater Pass, asked you to take word south to the Forsaken Inn that they will no longer need their rooms. Sam Thistleburr asks that you make your way to the Forsaken Inn to tell the innkeeper he no longer needs to save their rooms for them because they are headed back to Bree to get more supplies and to be a little bit better equipped
Woe be me
for hunting in the Midgewater Pass there. Sam Thistlebur. I do not recall the name. Of course, there have been more folk passing through here than normal. Usually, there are very few pressing toward the east or coming from that way. Those dark shadows have caused this land to stir in ways I had not seen through most of my life. Their rooms are freed. Ha ha! So he had utterly and totally forgotten about the reservation on any count. All right, Inn of the Forsaken.
I don't know if you can help
that
me.
is a small fellowship, so we're going to have to hold off on that one. Missing
I don't know
supply
if you
card.
can help me.
Good day, Hunter. What do you need? Did I summon you? Anyways, it does not matter. Were you hunting in the Midgewater Pass and need some rooms? My supplies have not come back from Bree. I sent a cart out over a week ago, or earlier. I'm not sure anymore. But I did send a cart, I know that. Now where is it? Tell me that. The cart was traveling west toward Bree, and it should have come back by now. I want to know what happened to the supplies I sent and to the cart's driver. I hope it wasn't goblins. There are so many of them here now. Will you help? Will you travel west toward Bree? Search both north and south and bring me any news you discover. Find the cart and find the missing driver. Okay, we've done the inn. We're not going to do Inn of
What a
Forsaken.
moment of your time.
He does browse the shop. We don't have anything we need shop browsed at the moment. Now, we have got lots of people we can pick up quests from in here. Leave a dower lily, and we might as well,
I'm sorry to trouble you, but will you help me?
because we're going to be hunting a lot of these things or just coming across them, so it's good. It's kind of like the bounties that, remember the person at the Dead Man's Perch in the Barrow Downs where you could get the bounties. It's like if you're going to be killing Barghest and Whites anyway, you might as well be getting extra credit for it. Bounty Goblin Tabards. I'm not just a servant maid here at the Forsaken Inn. I'm also a fair hand with needle and thread. At the moment, Anlaf has me making a special treat for the goblins of Anunlus. I've been trying to finish this terrible little scarecrow for weeks, but there are none here willing to risk their lives against the goblins to bring me what I need to complete it. I have all the pieces I need except cloth from enough goblin tabards to complete the scarecrow. If you are willing, go to the ruins of Minas Eriol to the southeast, or to the plains of Anunlus, and bring me some tabards from the goblins there so I can finish this dreadful thing. So collect 10 goblin tabards. Certainly.
It's a sorry day.
I am making scarecrows to keep the goblins away from the inn. Very nice. Now, we've got Mr. Muntz, Gadrik Muntz. You've got bounty goblin scabbards.
Might I take a moment of your time?
10 goblin scabbards. My charge is clear. Revisit a measured vengeance upon the goblins. Still, I feel this is not enough. The goblins are responsible for the deaths of many. I want to revisit upon them what they wrought upon us. I will pay you in trade and recognition among my people if you're willing to assist me in this endeavor. Any goblin from the northeast of this encampment to the depths of Minas Eriol will suffice, as many will carry the proof that I desire. Scabbards, leather scabbards used to house their murderous daggers. Seek out the goblins in those places and claim their scabbards. Return them to me, and I will see that you receive a fitting reward.
I'm sorry. Did you need
right.
something?
He's just telling you further on where you can find them.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but will you help me?
A greater theft. I am Gadrik Muntz, a member of the Eglain. I trade artifacts found in the lowlands to collectors in Bree in return for food and other necessities. Up till recently, our trade has been brisk, but darkness has come to these lands and our people. The Eglain face starvation and deal with murder. Goblins have crept into the lowlands and have made trade difficult. They attacked us, murdering many of our number and seized many of our trade goods. Ruins of ancient Arnor overlook a large valley to the southeast of the Forsaken Inn. Minas Ariel, that place is called. Kinda think I know where we're going next. And it was long dear to my people. Would you go there and retrieve our trade bundles from the crates that remain and return to me? The crates are all that remain of our last collection. I can do that. Hunters become prey.
I don't know if you can help me.
My people suffered such horrors as wargs tore through the ruins before the lashes of their masters. Ferocious and unyielding, the beast devoured many members of my tribe, even as they lay dying. The beast must be punished, and my people must find their strength again. The wargs dwell now among the ruins of... where? Minas Ariel, the home they stole from my people. We must humiliate the enemy, take their tails, and show them they are weak. Hunt down the wargs, collect their tails, and bring them to me so I can see smiles once more upon the faces of those few that remain of my people. And last quest, vengeance for the lost.
I'm sorry to trouble you, but will you help me?
And what do you think they've lost? Our people suffered an attack that cost many lives, and who knows how many more will be dead of starvation before the year is spent. The goblins must pay for this foul treachery. You carry yourself as one familiar with battle. Would you go to the ruins of... where now? Minas Ariel, southeast of this inn, and destroy the goblins you find there. The Eglain deserve vengeance. Defeat White Hand Guards, White Hand Spear Throwers, and White Hand Thrashers. We will do that. You've got a lot of quests for us. Alright, one more. Whoop. Didn't see that one up there. Candaith Brightwood. Let's get Arenora. Blankets from the Bane Wolves.
I don't know if you can help me.
There are too many travelers, even through this remote land, and the nearest water sits foul and stagnant. We've the well, of course, but water is rationed among all the guards, and does not go as far as it might. Blankets need making and mending, and there are no better hides to be found than those of the wolves. The hide of a warg is too coarse, but a wolf's fur can be made soft with a comb. If you've the time and a good heart, I would ask for your assistance. You'll not see me stomping through the brush to get to the wolves, as deadly as they are. There are few places you might want to look for wolves with proper hides. Wolves creep among the ruins of Minas Ariel to the south, though that place is also crawling with wargs and goblins. Wolves hunt too among the weather hills to the east and north. Finally, you could travel even further north, but the Midgewater Pass is dangerous and full even worse things than wolves. When you have the wolf hides, return to me, and I will see that you are rewarded. By hoof and crook.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Old Mugwort does the cooking round here, though he has been in the wild for weeks. But I have some recipes of my own that tickle the fancy of some of the guests. So much so, they have bought out all of my latest fare. The recent commotion ran off our modest herd of swine, and I need no more pork. I need boar feet and leg bones. Though I'll not share with you all of my recipe, I will tell you that the marrow from the bones gives the soaked feet a richer taste. Once you pull fur away from pull the fur away and cure the feet in salt, you've a tasty treat. You should find boar in the surrounding area, northeast among the weather hills. Be careful though, not every foot is good for eating.
I don't know if you can help me.
Ever since Gadrik Muntz showed up, I've had no rest. Normally we see no guests for months on end, but the glut of guests here has me stretched to my limit. Unlof is under great strain, and takes his worries out on me, driving harder to see that the chambers are cared for, the workers watched, and the guests fed. Well, I'm just not able to do it all. One thing that still needs to be done is the replacing of the pillows. All the stuffing's gone missing with the use they're getting, and I need to get the fluff back into them. We don't have the luxury of ducks, but the crabines circling about in the north might do in a pinch. There are plenty of the troublesome thorn-talon and sharp-eye crabine lurking about. Bring me some of their feathers, and I'll pay you for your troubles. The birds circle often over the vales surrounding Weathertop and the summit of the great hill. Very good. Now, let's see what Candaith has that we missed out on while we were standing over here.
What can I do for you?
Ah, Candaith's Delay. Let's see here. Candaith's Delay. That's the one from Letter to Candaith from Lily. Lily Sandheaver. The well-to-do grocer there near the West Gate. Hello there! I am in need of assistance from one not too familiar with the upper class here in Breetown. I collect pottery from the ruins of the Kingdom of Arnor, where, to be honest, I purchased the pottery. It is a sign of my standing, and for years I've had a greater and higher quality collection than that dreadful Mirabella Underhill. The man from whom I purchased the pottery is named Candaith Brightwood. I haven't heard from him for a dreadfully long time, and am worried about my next delivery, and about Miss Brightwood's well-being, of course. I need someone to carry a letter to Candaith at the Forsaken Inn. Look for the inn along the Great East Road, just past the Midgewater Marshes. Mirabella will visit me soon, and I have nothing new to show her. I will look a fool. You don't want that, do you? All right, so we've got to come and find Mr. Candaith here. Bring him his letter. Letter to Candaith Brightwood at the Forsaken Inn. All right, that was one of the letters we can't actually read.
What do you need?
You bring a letter from Miss Sandheaver. Of course you do. If only she understood what is happening here. Allow me to explain. I make coin trading with the Muntz brothers. You will see them about in the inn. They find relics among the ruins of the lowlands and trade them to myself and others who visit this place for foodstuff and supplies. For years our trade went uninterrupted, but recent events have caused the trade to cease altogether, and there's nothing to sell to the collectors in Breetown. The Muntzes cannot reach the ruins any longer. Their livelihood is threatened, as is ours. All Mrs. Sandheaver sees is that she will not have new Anordian collectibles with which to impress her friends, while the Muntzes and the people may lose their lives.
Would you do something for me?
All right, we've got Brightwood's Waistcoat. Let's take a look at that one right quick. What do we have? It's armor, item level 15, light armor, medium 508. Nope, not nearly good enough. The Shining Dwarf leather jacket is much better.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Candaith's Obligation. I will tell you of my troubles, traveler, and see if you can lend me some assistance. The Muntzes supplied me with pottery and other trinkets found throughout the ruins in the lowlands. They count themselves folk of these lands, these Eglain, and they depend on such trade for their livelihood. Goblins have overrun the ruins where they are accustomed to gathering the pieces. They cannot collect the pottery shards I require, and I find my deliveries impossible to fulfill. If I cannot send a delivery of pottery to Mrs. Sandheaver in the town of Bree, I will not be paid. There's a valley beneath the ruins of Minas Ariel, southeast of the Forsaken Inn, where wolves have been known to prowl. They may see some shattered bits of pottery here, and perhaps some whole pieces as well. If you can bring me some, I will see you paid for your efforts. Do be careful. The lowlands never cease to be dangerous, especially in these troubled times. So collect pottery shards. That we can do. All right, we are going to stop here at the wonderful Forsaken Inn. That will be where we stop for the night here. Let's get closer to the fire and get a little warmer. There we are. Warm up our toots here as we wait for our next adventures. We will see y'all then. In fact, though, I think we got some blue ones, don't we? We need to go up here. We need to go to the north part of Breland. Up there around the North Chetwood, we've got Breland to Thistlebridge we need to finish while it's a level 20. Horses for hire. And into the woods. I believe this is the North Chestwood. That is probably at Hengstacer Farm. And that, of course, is a delivery to Trestlebridge. And then we will have finished up all our breathing quests. So that is where we will head next. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. Being back here into the Lone Lands proper, out of the Midgewater Pass. We have seen Candaith. We have got quests to do for him. And we're going to help out the poor Eglain. We will be helping out the Eglain a lot. In and around Minas Ithil. So, we will see y'all then. I thank you. Gnomadan thanks you too. And I hope y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.